Chapter 10 from the Voyagers book, Opening the Halls of Amente. Context. If you will recall from our discussions in earlier chapters, from 1972, forward, the Guardians had quite a few things to accomplish before the Halls of Amente could be opened between 2012 through 2017. The Earth's grid speed had to be raised high enough by October 1986 to spark open the first seal on the Ark of the Covenant, so the sphere of Amente would descend and be in position with Earth's core no later than January 1st, 1988. Between January 1st, 1988 and June 30th, 1998, the sphere of Amente would transmit its Dimension 1, Dimension 2, and Dimension 3 frequencies into Earth's grid, so by June 30th, 1998, Earth's grid speed would rise high enough to spark the second seal on the Ark of the Covenant. Earth could then begin ascent into the pulsation rhythms of the Dimension 4 time cycle. If all went well on January 1st, 2000, the sphere of Amente would begin transmitting Dimension 4 frequency through Earth's core, and the fourth DNA strand imprint would soon become available to the populations who had fully assembled third strand into which the fourth strand could be plugged. The blue flame of Amente would begin its 12-year descent to Earth between January 1st, 2000 and May 5th, 2012. On May 5th, 2012, Earth would begin its it would begin its intersection with Terra's grid. The blue flame would embody within the keepers of the blue flame, and the masses who had assembled the fourth DNA strand would rapidly assemble the fifth strand for ascension to Terra. The Halls of Amente ascension portals would be open on May 5th, 2012 and close by January 1st, 2022. Between May 5th, 2017 through June 30th, 2017, the holographic beam from Dimension 8 would send a burst of Dimension 7 through 9 frequency into Earth's grid. This Dimension 7 through 9 frequency infusion would finalize the separation of the bridge zone and descending Earth time continua. Then each version of Earth would move forward in its respective track of time. The Guardians would have 10 years between 2012 through 2022 to ascend as many people as possible through the Halls of Amente to Terra in Harmonic Universe 2, and 3 days for ascension to Gaia in the Harmonic Universe 3 time cycles in 2017. Along with these events, a series of monumental occurrences were also to take place as Earth entered the final phases of its ascension cycle. From 1988 through 2017, the natural seals of Earth's 7 primary vortices, chakras, would systematically open as 6 stellar spirals progressively came into alignment with Earth's Merkaba fields. On January 1st, 2000, Earth's energetic fields would strike an interdimensional resonant tone, beginning the cycle of Earth's stellar activations. The Guardians were to call a global gathering of lightworkers on this day for a celebration of the Day of Transcendence to assist Earth in holding the interdimensional resonant tone so planetary ascension into the Dimension 4 time cycle could begin. Earth would then experience 6 stellar activations and 6 stellar wave infusions between May 5th, 2000 and 2017, through which the particle conversion process of the morphogenetic wave would take place. Between 1992 through May 5th, 2012, 6 silent avatars would birth on Earth to purge genetic mutations and realign the imprints of DNA strands 2 through 7 with the 12-strand DNA imprint within the sphere of a Mente race morphogenetic field. Between 1999 and 2017, 150,000 indigo children would birth on Earth through parents with Palladorian birth contract soul agreements to carry the activated 6 DNA strand imprint. Keepers of the blue flame and keepers of the violet flame would receive their quote-unquote wake-up call and progressively undergo 6-star crystal stellar activations and wave infusions, activating DNA strands 5 through 9 between June 1996 and 2017. Following their 6 stellar activations, the keepers of Terra's blue flame morphogenetic field would embody the blue flame on May 5th, 2012, and begin initiating stellar activations in others who hoped to ascend to the halls of Amente on Terra or Gaia. The keepers of Gaia's violet flame morphogenetic field would embody the violet flame on January 1st, 2017, and begin ascending people to Gaia during a 3-day period in 2017. The 7 planetary dimensional Merkaba fields between Earth and Harmonic Universe 1, Terra in Harmonic Universe 2, and Gaia in Harmonic Universe 3 would progressively open to each other as Earth, Terra, and Gaia aligned with the holographic beam for 3 days in 2017. This would permit full ascension through the halls of Amente and the blue-violet flame into the metagalactic core at Dimension 8 for those who had fully assembled the 6th DNA strand. On September 17th, 2001, the Hall of Records in Giza, Egypt, would begin opening. On May 5th, 2012, the flame holders would activate the Hall of Records, and on December 21st, 2012, the Hall of Records would begin transmitting data through Earth's grid, making interdimensional memory available to Earth's populations. Throughout this multifaceted sequence of events, the grids of Earth, Terra, and Gaia had to be kept in balance, and various segments of the population had to be guided to their appropriate ascension paths, while guardians continued to monitor, sidestep, and undo manipulation tactics of the Draco Zeta resistance in End Dimension 4 Anunnaki instigators. After 2022, the evolutionary path for Earth's populations would be set. The 2 versions of Earth would progress forward in their respective time cycles, and the 3 divisions of Earth's populations would embark upon their chosen paths of future evolution. Before all of the above events could occur, the Guardians had to realign the solar Merkaba fields so the 11-11-12-12 frequency fence could come down. Once this occurred, the artificial Dimension 4 Christ consciousness grid could resume transmitting Dimension 4 frequency into Earth's core to progressively accelerate grid speed and realign the 4th vortex Giza pyramid with the Alcyone spiral, so the holographic beam could intersect with Earth at the proper angle in 2017. At times, we of the Guardian Alliance shake our heads and chuckle when we hear humans lament that the Guardians must not be real, or if they are real, They are uncaring because they are not doing anything to help us with the intruder problem. Perhaps now you can understand what we have been doing to help you behind the scenes, and that this workload does not allow an excessive amount of resources to be placed upon concerns of social protocol. We will now provide an overview of the status of your ascension schedule. The next part says October 1986 through June of 1998. The Ark of the Covenant first seal opened, and so this is 1986. The sphere of Amente began descent to Earth. The 9,540 BC quarantine frequency fence began to lift. The Earth's grid speed raised high enough to spark open the first seal of the Ark of the Covenant, and the sphere of Amente began its 14-month descent into Earth's Dimension 2 core. With the release of the first Ark of the Covenant seal, the quarantine frequency fence from 9,540 BC began to disengage. Some of the third DNA strand mutations caused by this seal began to heal, allowing the veil between the ego and the higher self-identity aspects to begin dissolving. August 16th, 1987. The harmonic convergence. Permission for Guardian intervention on Earth was granted. Bridge Zone project was set in motion. Guardians began keying Earth's vortices. In 1987, the response to the event of the harmonic convergence. On August 16, 1987, the Syrian Council persuaded the Galactic Federation and other Harmonic Universe 2 and Harmonic Universe 3 groups to allow the Ascension program to be activated for the human populations. Permission was given for the Guardians to intervene and set the Bridge Zone project plan from 1984 in motion. Guardian opening of the Halls of Amente. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong. Guardian groups began keying Earth's vortices with UHF seals to block intruder forces from using the vortex portals. Guardian and intruder forces began vying for control over Earth's vortices. January 1988. Sphere of Amente returned to Earth's core at the 12-year Amente activations, or in the 12-year activation cycle began. The Amente activation cycle began. Earth's first vortex seal, Arizona, USA, opened. Amente's Dimension 1 frequencies began transmitting through Earth's grid. I wonder where in Arizona, what was that seal? The sphere of Amente returned to Earth's Dimension 2 core from the UHF bands of Dimension 3 for the first time in about 3,500 years and began transmitting its Dimension 1 frequencies into Earth's grid. This began the 12-year activation process of the sphere of Amente, through which the sphere progressively opens its Dimension 1, 2, and 3 frequencies into Earth's core Dimension 2 morphogenetic field. This will raise the pulsation rhythm of Earth's particle base and the frequency of Earth's grid in preparation for Earth's first stellar activations on May 5th, 2000. As the sphere of Amente began transmitting its Dimension 1 frequencies through Earth's grid, a natural seal on Earth's first primary vortex opened, and the vortex began its 4-year activation cycle. Earth's first primary vortex chakra is located in the region of the Painted Desert in the state of Arizona. The Sedona, Arizona vortices are connected to this primary vortex, and they began the multidimensional activation at this time. Okay, that makes sense, because Sedona is like a very high vibrational spot. All the mountains and stuff are like basically filled with quartz crystal. There's tons of UFO activity around there. You can do the UFO tour and see the UFOs up in the sky if you have the special like $10,000 military night vision goggles, which they have on the tour, so you can see it. There's tons of UFO activity over there. So that makes perfect sense. September 1989, Guardians repair solar fields. Guardian transmissions of Dimension 4 frequency to increase Earth's grid speed begin. The Syrian Council and other Guardian groups completed the realignment of the solar Merkaba fields, which began the realignment of Earth's Dimension 1 and Dimension 2 Merkaba fields that had been misaligned by the Zetas following the Philadelphia experiment of 1943. This allowed Dimension 4 frequency transmissions from the Guardian's artificial Christ consciousness grid to resume infusions into Earth's core to raise Earth's core frequencies. This also allowed for the 1111-1212 frequency fence to come down once Earth's grid rebalanced. January 11th, 1992. The 1111 Promise of Ascension granted as Guardians transmitted the 11 Dimension 4 magnetic base codes that would allow 1111-1212 frequency fence to later release. On January 11th, 1992, the Guardians began to transmit the 11 Dimension 4 magnetic base tones that had been removed from Earth's morphogenetic field in 1972 to create the protective 1111-1212 frequency fence, which stopped the red pulse wave of solar flame from moving through Earth and neighboring planets. Transmission of these magnetic codes marked the beginning of the 1111-1212 frequency fence disengagement. The fence had blocked the third and fourth DNA strands from plugging into each other, which caused a block between the Dimension 3 personality and higher self and the astral identity. The fence would also block the sphere of Amente from transmitting Dimension 4 frequency into Earth's grid in 2000. The halls of Amente could not open while the fence was in place. With the return of the Dimension 4 magnetic base tones to the Earth's morphogenetic field, the opening of Amente would continue on schedule. The third and fourth DNA strands began to align, and astral awareness became more accessible to the dimension, or to the three-dimensionally consciousness human identity. The date of January 11th, 1992 became known as the 1111 in New Age circles, representing the celebration of promise of ascension, which was granted on that date through Earth receiving the 11 Dimension 4 magnetic base codes that would allow the frequency fence to disassemble. June 6, 1992, Earth's second vortex seal, Jerusalem, Israel, opened, and Amente's Dimension 2 frequency began transmitting through Earth's grid. The sphere of Amente completed opening its Dimension 1 frequencies into Earth's morphogenetic field. Earth's first primary vortex in the Arizona Painted Desert completely opened and activated, and the seal on Earth's secondary primary vortex began to open and activate. Earth's second primary vortex chakra is located in Jerusalem, Israel. The sphere of Amente began transmitting its Dimension 2 frequencies through Earth's grid. Well, maybe this is why there's so many wars and stuff going on right now in that area. I mean, there always has been. July 26, 1992. Avatar number 1, 7th level avatar is born and aligns DNA strands to imprint with 12-strand pattern. Corrected strand 2 imprint begins transmitting through Earth's grid. The first of 6 silent avatars was born. This avatar is a Dimension 4 soul essence from Harmonic Universe 3, a 7th level avatar with 7-dimensional frequency bands activated in his genetic code. This individual was born with DNA strand 7 fully activated, and his soul essence passed through the sphere of Mente. The imprint for DNA strand 2 was realigned with the 12-strand DNA pattern, and the imprint for the aligned DNA strand 2 began transmitting through Earth's grid and into the bioenergetic fields of Earth's population. December 12th, 1994. The 12/12 Independence Day Human graduation. Changing of the guard of Amente. The 11/11/12/12 frequency fence releases. Earth's guardianship is turned over to humanity. The ascension schedule moves forth. The 11 Dimension 4 magnetic base tone codes and electrical overtone codes of the 11/11/12/12 frequency fence completed re-entry into the Earth's Dimension 2 morphogenetic field, and the 11/11/12/12 frequency fence was fully dismantled. The 12th base tone and 12th overtone frequencies of Dimension 4 were reconnected to the 11 Dimension 4 base tones and overtones within Earth's morphogenetic field and the sphere of Amente. Human DNA could now continue to assemble through the 4th and 5th strand. The remaining stages of opening the halls of Amente were no longer under full guardian control. The responsibility for humanity's evolutionary destiny was now in human hands. The success of the opening of the halls of Amente and the Bridge Zone project, which were previously controlled by the Guardians, this is 11/11/12/12 frequency fence, would now be determined by the rate at which human consciousness and DNA evolved to higher accretion levels. The sphere of Amente race morphogenetic field, which had been created 550 million years ago by the Peladorians of Terra, would now be placed under Earth's or Earth-human guardianship. The Ur-Tornate Peladorian souls of Harmonic Universe 2, who had merged their consciousness to form the sphere of Amente, began to leave Earth in the sphere of Amente to return to their Harmonic Universe 2 Terran reality fields. For 550 million years, the energetic substance of the Ur-Tornate souls and their consciousness had provided the medium through which the lost soul fragments of Terra could evolve from Harmonic Universe 1 by merging their consciousness with that of the Ur-Tornates within the sphere of Amente through evolution of DNA. The Ur-Tornates had served as a host matrix family for the entire earthly human lineage. The sphere of Amente morphogenetic field rescue mission for the lost soul fragments of Terra represents a host matrix transplant through which the entire earthly human lineage has evolved. When the fall from Terra occurred, the lost souls of Terra were cut off from their soul matrices and the Turanusium 1 race morphogenetic field. The Ur-Tornates of Amente served as an adoptive soul matrix through which the lost souls could re-evolve, and they had rebuilt their connection to their Terran soul matrices through assembly of the 4th and 5th DNA strand. Through the accelerated evolutionary opportunity offered by Earth's present ascension cycle, 4th and 5th DNA strand assembly would allow many humans the chance to reconnect with their personal soul matrices from Harmonic Universe 2. The services of the Ur-Tornates would no longer be needed, as the humans who made their soul matrix connection would become carriers of the human evolutionary blueprint. The return of the race morphogenetic field to the human species could not occur while the 11/11/12/12 frequency fence remained in place and DNA strands 4 and 5 were blocked from assembly. When the frequency fence dismantled on December 12th, 1994, 4th and 5th strand assembly once again became available to humanity. The event of Amente's transfer to human guardianship can be viewed as a changing of the guard. With the termination of the frequency fence between January 11th, 1992 and December 12th, 1994, the host matrix family, Ur-Toronate souls, began leaving Earth as progressively more humans reconnected to their harmonic universe 2 soul matrices. The Ur-Tornates involved in the Amente project had been earth-bound for 550 million years and could not ascend from harmonic universe 1 until this changing of the guard took place. As of December 12, 1994, the ancient Ur-Tornate souls from Terra could at last disengage themselves from the sphere of Amente and could continue on their own evolutionary journey through the higher harmonic universes. This date of 12/12/1994 became known as the 12/12 that represents humanity's true Independence Day. When the fate of human destiny was turned over from the custodial care of the ancient Ur-Tornate race and placed into the hands of an evolving humanity. The 12/12 stands for humanity's graduation from its adolescent evolution into the adult role of becoming a planetary guardian species. 1995, Guardians initiate Portal Project to secure Earth's vortices from intruder infiltration by 2012. The Sarian Council became aware of Anunnaki-resistant plans to instigate Earth changes through Dimension 4 interference. The Pleiadian Star League and members of the Andromeda Council agreed to assist the Sarian Council in more aggressive efforts of frequency keying, monitoring and protecting Earth's vortex portal system from Anunnaki resistance and Draco Zeta resistance manipulation. They began the collective Portal Project. Guardian and intruder forces have been secretly vying for portal control ever since. Presently, the Andromes have most of Earth's portals under protection, though intruder forces continue to attempt to overtake the primary second portal vortex in Jerusalem and the smaller secondary portals in Manhattan, Florida, Sedona, Arizona, Hawaii, Tibet, China, and other areas of the globe. Guardians must secure all 7 primary vortex points by 2012 for the Bridge Zone Project for the Bridge Zone Project and the opening of the Halls of Amente to unfold smoothly without causing grid instability and Earth changes. Humanity can help the Guardians in this portal protection endeavor by using focused group meditation to project high-frequency Dimension 4, Dimension 8 frequency into these locations and into Earth's grid in general using quote-unquote sun visualizations. Okay, the next part says, June 1996. Earth's third vortex, Himalayan mountains, opened. Amente began transmitting Dimension 3 frequencies through Earth's grid. Keepers of the blue and violet flames begin first stellar activation, the solar heart star activation. The sphere of Amente completed opening its Dimension 2 frequencies into Earth's morphogenetic field. Earth's second primary vortex in Jerusalem, Israel, completely opened and activated, and the seal on the third primary vortex chakra began to open and activate. The third vortex is located in the Himalayan mountains of South-Central Asia. The sphere of Amente began transmitting its Dimension 3 frequencies into Earth's grid. The Keepers of the Blue and Violet Flames and their flame holders began the Dimension 4 Solar Heart Star activation, initiating the assembly of the activation of their 4th DNA strand. June 24th, 1996. Avatar 2, 8th level Avatar was born and aligned DNA strand 3 imprint with the 12-strand pattern. Corrected strand 3 imprint begins transmitting through Earth's grid. The second of 6 silent avatars was born. This avatar is a Dimension 8 soul essence from Harmonic Universe 3, an 8th level avatar with 8-dimensional frequency bands activated in his genetic code. This individual was born with the 8th DNA strand fully activated, and his soul essence passed through the sphere of Mente. The imprint for DNA strand 3 was realigned with the 12-strand DNA pattern, and the corrected 3rd strand imprint began transmitting through Earth's grid. By 1996, there was great concern among Guardian races as to whether Earth's grid speed would be raised high enough by June 30th, 1998, to spark the second seal of the Ark of the Covenant. If the second seal did not open by this date, Earth could not begin its ascent into pulsation rhythms of the Dimension 4 time cycle for merger with Terra. If Earth's grid speed was not high enough to spark open the second seal on the Ark of the Covenant by June 30th, 1998, the Bridge Zone project would not succeed. The halls of Mente would not open. The Earth would be unable to shift into the Dimension 4 time cycle by January of 2012, and the Draco Zeta resistance would have a much better chance of creating the 2003 experiment and 2004 frequency fence. If Earth was unable to begin shift into a Dimension 4 particle pulsation rhythm by May 5th of 2000, sporadic Earth changes would erupt between 2012 through 2017 as the grid of Earth and Terra attempted to merge, and the opportunity for ascension would be lost. Guardians were permitted by the Harmonic Universe 2 and 3 councils to continue their transmissions of Dimension 4 frequency into Earth's grid, but they are not permitted to directly intervene in Earth's affairs by landing and directing the actions of humans to desired ends. Humans had been given guardianship of Earth on December 12th, 1994. Visiting guardians were allowed to assist, but not alter the choices humanity would make for itself. The Draco Zeta resistance continued to influence human decision-making through covert infiltrates and motivated an acceleration of new technology testing from various groups of global military organizations. Top-secret military experiments using scalar wave technology, satellite manipulation of interstellar radio waves, and certain types of nuclear testing from 1988 through present progressively created new imbalances in Earth's biofield and grid, which hampered the Guardians' efforts to raise grid speed. It was feared that by June 30th, 1998, the grid speed would not be high enough to spark the second seal of the Ark of the Covenant. Guardian groups from all over the galaxy and from Harmonic Universe 2 had Harmonic Universe 2 and 3 watched, waited and prayed that humanity would be able to counterbalance the activities of their governments by raising personal consciousness and accretion levels enough to allow Earth's grid speed to sufficiently increase. In December 1997, the Anunnaki resistance began subliminally manipulating populations through the primary vortex in Jerusalem, the secondary vortex in Manhattan, and several other secondary vortices whose security seals were able to decode and release. Following this new development, the odds of the second seal of the Ark of the Covenant sparking open by June 30th, 1998 were about 2 million to 1 against the event occurring. And then it says down here, prospects for the Bridge Zone project in opening the halls of Amente were bleak as 1998 dawned under the influence of covert extraterrestrial manipulation. The Ark of the Covenant opens. In the beginning of this transmission, we mentioned that we had an announcement to make, and we will make that announcement now. In February 1998, the Elohim of the Harmonic Universe 3 knew the second seal of the Ark of the Covenant would not be sparked open in time for the June 30th, 1998 deadline. They broke their own protocol, having a change of heart toward helping the entire human species rather than only their preferred genetic strains. The Elohim intervened. The original ascension plan called for the birth of 6 avatar souls from Harmonic Universe 3 and Harmonic Universe 4 between 1992 and 2012. These individuals were needed to hold higher dimensional frequency as Earth progressively integrated the frequencies from the sphere of Amente and to correct any misalignments in the morphogenetic imprints of DNA strands 2 through 7 within the sphere of Amenti. The avatars were to be born about 4 years apart in various undisclosed locations on the globe, beginning in 1992. Avatar 1 was born on July 26, 1992, and Avatar 2 was on June 24th, 1996. Avatar 3 was not due to birth until the year 2000. So who are these Avatar people? That's what I want to know. Knowing the Ascension Plan had reached a standstill early in 1998, the Elohim orchestrated the beginning birthing of the third Avatar, which says here is the 9th level Avatar. With the birth of the third Avatar, Earth's morphogenetic field would receive a sudden burst of UHF energy as the Avatar soul passed through the sphere of Amente, Earth's core, and into fetal integration moments before physical birth. And there's a little footnote down here. Here it says, most Avatar souls do not enter the fetal body anywhere near conception, as the vibrational rate of their consciousness would literally blow the physical tissue apart, cause miscarriage of the pregnancy, and damage to the mother's bioenergetic system. They usually hover about and overshadow the pregnancy, then enter the infant's body just before it passes through the birth canal. Avatar pregnancies rarely exceed a 7-month gestation period, as avatar-selected fetal bodies have a larger genetic package, tend to develop more rapidly, and begin to drain the life force energy of the mother host after the 7th month of gestation. Most are born as premature infants, with soul integration taking place during or just after the birth process. The next part says, the Guardian Alliance would like to announce the following. On June 26, 1998, at 3:46 p.m., the third Avatar child was born, and the second seal on the Ark of the Covenant sparked open, beginning Earth's 2-year preparation for passage into the particle pulsation rhythms of the Dimension 4-time cycle. The child born at home to a couple residing in the village of a third world country, he was actually a 5-month gestation infant, but it believed to be only 2 months premature. He is faring well and will survive to fulfill his purpose of holding higher dimensional frequencies as the sphere of Amente continues to open. The name, religious affiliation, and location of this child, and for the other 5 avatars, are unimportant. His identity will not be publicly disclosed, nor will the identities of the other 5 Ascension avatars reach public notice during the Ascension period. 4 of the 6 silent avatars will disclose their identities sometime after they have turned 33 years of age and their service missions come into mass awareness. Anyone publicly claiming to be one of the 6 silent avatars before 2025 AD, when Avatar 1 turns 33, is either misguided, being manipulated by intruder forces, or is purposely trying to distort the truth. There are a number of other legitimate avatars present on Earth at this time. Some of them are publicly known, but these are not of the 6 silent Ascension avatars, whose purpose is to realign the human DNA imprint and ensure Earth's grid stability by holding higher dimensional frequency in their bioenergetic field as the sphere of Amente opens into Earth's morphogenetic field. Our announcement is thus a birth announcement, but also a confirmation of Earth's passage into the Dimension 4 time cycle in preparation for entering the bridge zone, the opening of the halls of Amente, and the opportunity for ascension. The second seal of the Ark of the Covenant has been sparked, and Earth will now begin preparation for the descent of the blue flame of Amente into the opening of the halls of Amente portals, which are scheduled for May 5th, 2012. Your preparation for ascension is now back on schedule. Palladorian birthing contracts. The Indigo Children Palladorian birth contracts, contract bonds, and the incubation rite. Along with the birth of 6 silent Ascension avatars between 92 and 2012, the Palladorians and Priest of Ur from Harmonic Universe 2, working with the Elohim and other Guardian races from Harmonic Universe 3 and 4, organized the Palladorian Birthing Contract Soul Agreement Program. To ensure the success of the Bridge Zone project and thus the Ascension program, a minimum of 144,000 individuals on Earth would have to completely assemble and activate the 6th DNA strand and rapidly begin assembly and activation of the 7th and 8th DNA strands. The only members of the human population on Earth that organically possess the 6th DNA strand imprint are the groups who have undergone genetic acceleration through the earlier Zionite intervention, those who carry the celestial 12-strand silicate matrix gene code. The keepers of the blue, violet, and orange gold flames also possess this genetic configuration. The 6th root race Muvarians and their Melchizedek cloister race are born with the 4th DNA strand assembled and the imprint for the 5th strand dormant. The Muvarians have not yet begun their birthing cycle on Earth. The Melchizedek cloister race must fully assemble the 5th DNA strand before it can activate the imprints for strand 6 and above. Members of all of these races must fully assemble and activate the lower strands, then assemble and activate the 6th strand by completing at least 3 stellar star crystal activations before Earth can receive the needed concentration of Dimension 6 frequency these activated 6th strand individuals would provide. There is little time left before the 2012 through 2017 ascension period begins for a minimum of 144,000 individuals to awaken to their soul purpose and consciously complete these stellar activations to activate their 6th DNA strand. Being aware of the shortage of time able to achieve the needed 6th strand activations, the Palladorians created an early birthing program for members of the 7th root race Uenjeki and the cloister race Unaseti. The Uenjeki and Unaseti, often referred to collectively as the Paradisians, possess a fully activated 5th DNA strand at birth and the ability to rapidly assemble and activate the 6th DNA strand imprint, which they organically carry. The Paradisians are Dimension 6 soul essence and become fully embodied souls when their 6th strand completes activation, usually by 12 years of age. Through soul agreements with members of the 6th race Melchizedek cloister and others carrying the celestial silicate matrix gene code, 150,000 couples were chosen to serve as birthing parents for the incoming Paradisian race soul essences. These are the only groups of humans possessing a large enough gene code to create fetal bodies strong enough to hold the Paradisian soul essence. Through these Palladorian soul agreements, which are orchestrated by the priest of Ur from Agartha and Terra, selected earth couples are subconsciously guided together by their personal soul level identities to fulfill the Peladorian birth contract. Through astral contact, and or guardian extraterrestrial soul agreement abductions, the parent couples undergo manipulation of their bioenergetic fields and DNA to allow for a strong energetic soul bond to be created between the parents. This electromagnetic bond allows the soul matrices of the individuals in the couple to merge, forming a UHF bioenergetic field through which an advanced fetal pattern with a genetic code larger than that of either of the parents can be conceived. Once this bond, referred to as a bonding contract or contract bond, takes place, the bioenergetic fields of life paths of the parents are blended together, following which time the couples will be led together through various circumstances that occur in their earthly lives. Some of the parent couples will be consciously aware of these contract bonds and birthing contracts. Others will be consciously unaware and just so happen to fall in love with each other and bear their paradisian child. The Peladorian birthing contracts and contract bonds are high-level soul agreements entered into the parents' oversoul level identities in cooperation with the oversoul identity of the child they will birth. In fulfilling these contracts, the individual parents receive acceleration of their genetic blueprint, which allows them further advancement in their evolutionary ascension process. The oversoul identity enters the Peladorian contract in order to allow its incarnate the opportunity for advancement. These contracts in no way violate the rights of the incarnate, and they are intended by the oversoul to guide the incarnate to its highest life experience. The births of the 6 silent ascension avatars and those of the 150,000 Peladorian souls are orchestrated through Peladorian birthing contracts and contract bonds. The Paradisian souls will enter incarnation on Earth from the Dimension 6 frequency bands of Terra through the Dimension 6 Sirian stellar spiral. The 6-dimensional frequencies correspond to the indigo wave pattern of the interdimensional light spectrum, thus the Paradisian children have been nicknamed the Indigo Children or Syrian Blue Babies. The coming birth of the Indigo Children has been foretold within various Earth human groups. They are working with other guardian extraterrestrial and metaterrestrial contacts. Some of this information has been published in channeled writings. The birth schedule of the Indigo Children will proceed as follows. The first wave of 144,500 Indigo Children will birth between 1999 and 2004. They will complete activation of the 6th DNA strand at the age of 12 between 2011 through 2016. Children of the first birth wave will serve as placeholders. Their 6th DNA strand activation serving to ensure the balance and grounding of Dimension 6 frequency on Earth during the 2012 to 2017 ascension period. The second birth of 5,500 Indigo Children will birth between 2005 and 2017 to reach maturity at age 12 between 2017 through 2029. The children of the second birth wave will assist Bridge Zone Earth to balance frequency following the 2017 particle conversion process. They will also serve as placeholders, grounding Dimension 6 frequency into the sphere of Amente race morphogenetic field. The finalization of the Peladorian birthing contracts and contract bonds between the parents couples of the Indigo Children took place on August 30th, 1998. Prior to this date, contracts were transferable between various eligible individuals, given chosen souls identities, given chosen soul identities the opportunity to exit or renegotiate the terms of their Peladorian contracts. As of August 30th, 1998, parent couples were bound to their Palladorian birthing contracts and contract bonds as the necessary bioenergetic field and DNA adjustments that would fulfill the contract bond were given to the parent couples through astral body mechanics, referred to as the incubation rite. During the 3-day incubation rite, couples agreeing to uphold their contracts were taken to Agartha Inner Earth by the priest of Ur via their astral bodies. The priest of Ur then initiated the bioenergetic field mechanics through which the DNA, bioenergetic fields, and soul matrices of those two individuals in a couple are fused together by infusions of energy from their respective oversouls. Through these rites, the contract bond and birthing contract are programmed into the individual's active DNA program, creating a twin DNA code alignment between the couple. This rite begins the incubation period for each individual, through which the life patterns and soul directive of each person is aligned with the contract, and all events, karmic patterns, and circumstances are not part of the contract, or that are not part of the contract, are purged from the life drama manifestation period. From this point forward, the couple's lives will unfold accordingly to the soul identity's intentions, offering the incarnates protection from various karmic dramas and ego-based choices that normally would have manifested. The incubation rite marks the suspension of the karmic imprint for the individual and the accelerated integration of the soul and ego identity. The couples of Palladorian birthing contracts will begin rapid DNA activation acceleration in preparation for their child's birth and will receive across-the-board protection from the Palladorians and Harmonic Universe 3 Guardians to ensure the success of their contracts. Though the families of the Palladorian contracts may appear no different than any other earthly family, they are fully guided and protected from the higher harmonic universes due to their agreement to participate in this service to human evolution. These couples are granted direct intervention and support from the Dimension 6 quote-unquote angelic kingdoms, guardians from Harmonic Universe 2 through Harmonic Universe 5, and the entity gestalts from Metagalactic Core. This divine intervention will create an almost magical ease in earthly endeavors that are part of the Palladorian contract, and the individuals will also experience greater difficulty in successfully orchestrating earthly affairs that are not part of the contracts to which their souls have agreed. All incarnates fulfilling their Palladorian birthing contracts will be freed from the Harmonic Universe 1 reincarnation cycles of birth and death following their present incarnation. Through the birth of the 6 silent avatars and the indigo children, Earth's transition to the bridge zone and humanity's opportunity for ascension will unfold as planned. June 26, 1998, Avatar 3, 9th level Avatar, was born 2 years early. The second seal on the Ark of the Covenant opened. Avatar 3 aligned DNA strand 4 with 12-strand pattern. Corrected strand 4 imprint will allow reverse mutations of strand 4 distortions and release of Pallador, Amente, and Zeta seals from DNA on May 5th, 2000. Well, okay, so up here it says, we just read it. It said that everything was, right here. So, Earth's transition to the bridge zone and humanity's opportunity for ascension will unfold as planned. So all this other stuff about these frequency fences and stuff. So apparently, if it's all unfolding as planned, all the frequency fence stuff that we read about before, that it was saying was like a major concern and all this stuff. I guess is that just all thrown out the window now? according to this, it says Ascension is going to unfold as planned. All right, let's keep reading. The third of 6 silent avatars was born 2 years early via Elohim intervention. Originally, birth was scheduled for May 5th, 2000. This avatar was a Dimension 9 soul essence from Harmonic Universe 3, a 9th level avatar with 9-dimensional frequency bands activated in his genetic code. This individual was born with DNA strand 9 fully activated, and his soul essence passed through the sphere of Amente. The imprint for DNA strand 4 was realigned with the 12-strand pattern. The seals of Pallador, Amente, and Zeta all begin to release with the assembly of the aligned 4th DNA strand. The birth of Avatar 3 reset the aligned 4th strand pattern into the sphere of Amente morphogenetic field, releasing the imprint of the Palladorian, Amente, and Zeta seals from human DNA. Okay, so right here it's saying it again. That those like frequency entrapments or the different things that they were trying to put on our frequencies and trying to, restrain our DNA from activating, like the seals and the frequency fences, all that stuff. So now it's saying that all that stuff is released because of these high level avatars that have incarnated. All right, let's keep reading. The Dimension 4 frequencies of Amente will not begin transmitting through Earth's grid until January 2000, and the corrected pattern for the 4th DNA strand will begin transmitting through Earth's grid on May 5th, 2000. What transpires next? Okay, so now it's chapter 11. All right, let's go ahead and stop the recording, and we're going to continue chapter 11 in the next upload.